Good morning, everyone. It's Libby from Master Tarot, and fabulous to have you along with me. I'd like to acknowledge the Warnock First Nations people and welcome my spirit guides as well. So, thank you all for joining us. Bit of housekeeping first. I may or may not get a reading done tomorrow. If I do, it will be later in the day, and only really if something desperate happens, because I have a funeral to go to. No one close to me. It is my husband's high school best friend's father. My husband and his high school best friend haven't seen each other for a decade or so, and before that it was a decade before that. So no one particularly close, but he feels obliged to go, so I'll go along as a bit of a support crew, as one does. So what am I going to have a look at today? Well, I was going to have a look at Governor Kemp with his testimony being delayed in Georgia, but I'm not feeling that there's anything insidious in there, so I might leave that. What am I doing? The former Tennessee Speaker Glen Casada, for being very publicly arrested for bribery, kickbacks, money laundering, conspiracy. I'll look at it very briefly, because again, in the big picture, I think it's just GOP business as usual behaving badly. Might be interesting to see who he takes down with him. What I would really like to have a look at is the special master overseeing the FBI documents hasn't been put in place as of yet. I think it's just a delaying tactic, so we'll just have a little bit of a look at that. Were there pages of Epstein's book found in Trump's safe, or does he have them in his Bedminster safe? We'll have a look at that. Oh, in regards to the master overseeing, if you haven't seen it, the FBI have released, they've put their case forward as to why one is not necessary, and they have released a photograph of very obvious bright yellow borders, red print, cannot be missed if you were flicking through a box, of the top secret and above documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. Trump's now saying that they were planted. Of course, everything he says contradicts what he just previously said, but yeah, we're a bit used to that, unfortunately. And of course then he's gone on Truth Social and just 60 posts later. So I might have another look at his mental health. I know I did that yesterday, but we'll have another look. Bulk oil tanker leaking oil off Gibraltar after a collision. I need to get rid of these fossils. And Warnock and Walker. I'll have a look at that, because apparently, according to the polls, Walker is in front. Why? Who knows? So there's a lot to get through today. Let's get started. I'll timestamp it when I get an opportunity. What am I going to start with? I might start with... I'll start with the special master. Not those cards. These cards. Thank you. Sorry, I'm bumping my plant there. They do tell you what cards to have a look at for those that are listening to their guides. Okay, what are we looking at? Will a special master be appointed? What are we looking at? Judge Aileen Cannon, who is a Trump-appointed judge. She did ask for... Trump's lawyers have asked for a detailed list of the items that were taken. Don't know that Trump really wants that to come out. There will be some interesting bits and pieces, as I saw yesterday, bribery material. The reason for a special master is that they are theoretically supposed to oversee the FBI going through the documents to make sure that anything that is client attorney privilege documents don't get included or get returned to Trump. I think it's just a delaying tactic, but we'll have a bit of a wander around that energy. Whatever I don't get to today, I'll have a look at either tomorrow or Saturday. But anyhow, will a special master be appointed by Judge Aileen Cannon in regards to will a special master be appointed by Judge Aileen Cannon, and what will it mean either way? Oh, what's flipped over there? Couldn't make this up for quids, could you really? Yeah. Couldn't make it up. Couldn't make that happen. Will a special master be appointed? Yeah, and then he's done a quick shuffle afterwards. Let's have a look. We have Tower Moment card. It's a yes card. Well, I think she is. I'll ask the pendulum, my pendulum in a second too. I think she is, but it's not going to be the outcome that Trump wants. It's going to be really conflicting. Like, she's going to say yes, and all of a sudden it's going to be a holy pile of cow manure. What have we done? This is not what we really wanted in regards to the betrayal and sabotage of the United States. And there will be this, the lawyers then will have to choose which path, very carefully, which path they take forward into the future, what plan they are going to bring forward in regards to this, how they're going to treat this information, because once it's out, it's out. In regards to mercenary behaviour, reaping what you sow, things are to be revealed that have not been revealed yet, that we don't know about the manipulation and the dark money. Whew. So I'm going to say yes, she will, because that's what Trump has requested, not knowing what he's actually asking for. I will just have a quick look with the pendulum, try and keep it very still on this table. Okay. Okay for me to ask a question today? May I ask a question? May I ask a question? You can see it going round and round. That's a yes, I'm ready. Okay. Will Judge Aileen Cannon appoint a special master? Will Judge Aileen Cannon appoint a special master in regards to these FBI taken documents? In regards to these? Well, that's a yes. It's only a very little yes. Pendulum and I are still getting used to each other. Will it backfire on Trump? Will the appointment of will this action backfire on Trump? Will this action backfire on Trump? The releasing of the detailed list of items. Will the demanding a detailed list of items backfire on Trump? Well, that's also telling me a yes. So that's just confirming what the cards were telling me. Pendulum and I are still getting used to each other. Sometimes it swings wildly depending on the question, and sometimes it's just a little subtle. So we're working on it. Okay, well, that leads me to, just quickly, are there pages of Epstein's book? I did this before, saw yesterday that there were blackmail. Yesterday? Day before? As I said, once I do a reading, it just goes completely out of my mind. but there were blackmail documents discovered. Will a detailed list of items reveal blackmailed documents? Will reveal blackmailing documents. Will the detailed list of items reveal blackmailing documents? This card again. It's they don't know what they're asking for. It's just going to end up in an absolute chaotic mess. The harsh truth tried to flip over. I must admit I shoved it back. Okay, again, this is a separate deck, but it's giving us the same cards. Slightly different order. But this is about that when they get this information, which is going to be a holy cripes moment, they're really going to have to come up fast with a plan. And which path do we take now that we've asked for this? They're going to have to come up really fast with a plan, as there is something that is going to be revealed that is quite a bombshell item. Something is going to be brought forward. Oh, base. Yep. So this detailed, I think the FBI just getting and the DOJ are just getting completely fed up with the tricks of Trump, of trying to delay. That's why they released the photograph of the documents on the floor, and of course the GOP went, oh, blah, 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 the Time magazine in the background. It's like, seriously, do you guys not see that this, like I have seen, I read, oh gosh, a couple of weeks ago when it first happened, that there are American assets overseas who have spent a lot of time getting themselves into a position of trust in foreign countries. I won't call them spies, but you know what I mean when I sort of allude to that. And they've been exposed, and I think some of them may have actually been killed that we don't know about, but they have been exposed. And that's when it really came to light that there was information that was being shared, because these agents were coming back and saying, I've been betrayed. They know I've got to get out. Get me out of here. Yeah. As I'm talking about these two cards, these agents are coming back as whistleblowers and saying something really serious has happened here. I've been here for 10 years and I've been in this trustworthy position, and all of a sudden I've been found out for no reason, of no cause of my own, and it is under investigation. And I've got under investigation, and then we have the downing of the king here, and the dawning of the new light, restriction. And then we have, it is a difficult decision to be made, but it is under investigation by those that are under the Biden administration, and they are going to find out what this fool has been up to. Oh, goodness me. Okay, that was not my question, so I might just very quickly, sorry about that little soapbox rant, I'll very quickly just ask Pendulum, because this is really a yes-no question. Oh, wrong way. We have worked out a way to hold this that Pendulum likes. Has to twist around a certain way. Hang on, I'll just lift you slightly. Let's have a look. Okay, are there pieces of Epstein's little black book, or Ghislaine Maxwell's little black book found in Trump's safe? So let's settle for a moment. Was there incriminating evidence from Epstein or Maxwell found in, well, I think you can call that a yes. Were there, yeah, it's getting quite large. For me, it's a very definite yes. So there was stuff, blackmail stuff, relating to Epstein found in Trump's safe. But five of wands each time, 2 of wands each time, then these demands that Trump is making is going to really backfire on him. Okay, very quickly, what am I looking at? I'll just use these cards. The Tennessee former House Speaker Glen Casada and his top aide at the time when he was the Speaker, GOP, needless to say, not saying the Dems are completely innocent. If you haven't caught up with it, he was they were both very publicly arrested for bribery, kickbacks, money laundering, conspiracy. They're both looking at about 20 years in jail. There are around 20 charges. In regards to, they set up a shell company in Phoenix, for Arizona, was it, I think, called Phoenix Solutions Limited Liability Corporation, LLC. And it was used as the recommended for Tennessee politicians, their mailing system and consulting service. Now, what was actually happening was that they were supposedly, this Phoenix Solutions, the go-to, and were being paid for being the government consultants for the Tennessee House, Senate, whomever, the politicians in Tennessee. So what they would do is the politicians would email or phone this company, and it was actually answering the phone was Glen Casada's aide, who would disguise his voice. So there was never actually any face-to-face meetings with these supposed consultants who were getting paid to be consultants, independent consultants who were very much not independent, is what I understand. So let me know if I've got it a little bit skew-if. Apparently the document paper trail is very heavy, a lot of information, and I'm wondering who else is involved. So, and will they flip and dob others in who perhaps may have been doing something similar or may have gotten bribery money because of it. So just tell me about this. Phoenix Solutions, Glen Casada. Tell me about Phoenix Solutions, Glen Casada. Phoenix Solutions, Glen Casada. Something's dropped out there that I will use. Don't know what it is. Let's have a look. Why am I really not surprised that this is the signifier card? The betrayal, the deceit, the sabotage, the others walking away as the truth has been collected and stolen by this supposedly smug but unpleasant and other people don't want to be associated with figure. Actually, I'm just looking at the destruction in the background. This is not so much others walking away as the Rider-Waite deck would be, but they are actually, those in the background are actually severely wounded or deceased. And this is, again, another nail in the coffin for the GOP. Oh boy. Okay. Crossed by, they are going to make an offer. They are going to supply, challenged by, they are going to supply information. They're going to try and barter their way out of some of this dark money at the base. Not surprised, money laundering, dark money in the past. Four of Swords, this is their arrest. This is the having to retreat wounded in battle card. The truth bringing them down. This is the arrest, and it is in the past, but they are trying to make a deal with the lawmakers. They will. Oh, okay. Thank you, Meister. Oh, thank you for that slap around the head. It does involve. It is a number of lawmakers. This is not the lawmakers looking into it. This is the lawmakers that are involved. Okay, immediate future, the legal system, the top legal system. This is very serious, actually. I think this goes further than Tennessee. Externally, reaping what you sow. Well, that's not difficult to understand. And then we have internally a harsh truth coming forward. Gosh, how many investigations are going on at the moment in regards to politicians? Holy crumbs. This has further reaching tentacles than I think we understand at this stage. There's a harsh truth coming forward. They know this truth is coming forward. They know that they've been caught good and proper. The hopes and fears. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and it was all about the money. This is my cooking the books card as well. So this is a cooking the books, and it was all about the money. As I said, it's a very document, paper trail heavy court case that the investigators are bringing forward here. Outcome, circles of support. Now this can mean celebration, but I think that what it is it's not just Glen Casada and his aide that are involved. These are the circle of those who were involved in this. They are having to juggle, make decisions. What do they do? But it is also in regards to the money that some have received, bribery, kickbacks, money laundering, conspiracy. There's a heck of a lot more going on here than we realise. This can be a sort of a celebration in other decks, wedding card, family card, whatever, but I'm always drawn in this deck to these people who they're actually just standing here frozen, looking quite stunned mullet, for want of an Australian term, just absolutely gobsmacked about what's happening, and they just don't know what to do and which way to turn. There's no celebration happening here. This is about information coming forward, messages coming forward that has just stunned, that will stun the people, and restriction. Here we have the gilded cage, more restriction. The Emperor. Really? Roads lead to Trump in regards to this? Why does that not surprise me? There is a completely unexpected turn of events to be brought forward in regards to this, in regards to stealing, lies, deceit, but just all sorts of yick. And then we have Sword of Truth in regards to the mercenaries being brought forward under the Biden administration. Not the Biden administration doing it, the Biden administration investigators. The calm, collected, diplomatic leadership. So, okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that because it has further... I'll just ask, is this going to reach all the way to federal politicians? Is this going to reach all the way to embroil federal politicians? This Glen Casada. Okay, it's telling me no. It says no federal politicians. Will there be other Tennessee politicians involved? Changing direction, yes. Okay, so nothing at federal, but yes, still more at the Tennessee level. Okay, I'll have a look at Warnock versus Walker. Mystical manga cards. If you want to know what cards I'm using, just pop a note down below. I do tend to change decks because I have decks for different reasons. These are my political decks. The Golden Universal Tarot, which I used just before, is for money matters. The Gilded Tarot Royale, which I used even before that, is for nondescript questions, which was the Special Master, as in it wasn't necessarily political, it wasn't necessarily money. So I use different decks for different reasons. Okay, what am I looking at? Warnock versus Walker. There is a serious choice to be made. There is a lot of misinformation and delusion coming out. And there are choices to be made, but none of the choices are, they're all about greed and avarice, and then we get this devil card, which is about toxicity and greed and avarice and being chained to this devil energy. So this is, oh please, now where is this? This is Georgia, I think, still, isn't it? Is Warnock, Walker, okay. Tell me about how okay, we're talking about the Georgia election, I believe. Tell me how Herschel Walker, who appears to be in front in the polls, how is that possible? Tell me about Herschel Walker. Tell me about Herschel Walker in his bid for, what is it, the House Rep. Tell me about Herschel Walker in his bid for House Rep. 2 years is too short. I mean, it's too long if the politician's really, really bad, but it's too short for actually anything to do. You're just in a perpetual election cycle. Okay, there's something here in regards to domestic security, practicality. Gosh, this guy is, a wife beater and can't string two words together to make a sentence. But anyhow, there is something here in regards to domestic security, money. There's a lot of money being poured into him as well. Burden. He's finding the messaging coming out about him burdensome in regards to his past relationships. In the past, 10 of Swords. But why is that in the past? Let's keep going. Rather see it in the future. In the past, he was done and dusted and out. But we'll see where it goes. It is all about betrayal and sabotage. There is some sabotage going on here. Sabotage at the polls, hopefully. Investigation in the immediate future. Externally, they're rallying around him, but internally, it's all about. He's got backing by big dollar oligarch type, American oligarch types, which is why this is happening at the moment. Hopes and fears tower. Yes, please, we'll have that. Outcome for him, disappointment, heartbreak, loss. Karma's going to bite him on the backside. There is this quite passionate message that's going to come forward in regards to him, and he's going to end up being restricted under investigation. So, yeah. In regards to the supposedly happy families, but there is going to be a whistleblower in regards to that, in regards to his relationships. So I suspect there's possibly going to be even another ex-partner come forward and accuse him. It's not a good outcome for Walker, so I'm quite happy with that. I had read that Warnock will win, but there's going to be tricks, manipulation, tricks, fraud, the usual GOP. Can't win by honest means, so some can, but, if they lose, it must be because of, and therefore it ends up in the court for 6 months. So when the true rep finally comes through, they're 6 months down on what they can achieve, and it's literally straight into the next election cycle. It's a bit like Kansas with the abortion rights vote that they went, where it was overwhelmingly yes we do want women to have rights over their own bodies, and then there was a group that came through and said, we want to recount, and they did a massive recount. I think the lead in Kansas for the pro rights for women was something like 165,000. You're not going to find, a recount is not going to overturn 165,000 votes, or if you even half that to sort of bring it back, what are we looking at, 90,000? You're not going to. And I think what happened is they found maybe less than 100 that had gone the wrong way, and they weren't necessarily going the way that anyhow. So it's just delaying tactics. It's just BS tactics. Okay, let's have a look at Warnock. Tell me about Warnock with the election. Tell me about Warnock. It is a bit of a bellwether election, this one, only because what I find interesting with Georgia, you're looking at a deep south state where slavery was the accepted norm. It's not for Warnock. This is Georgia at the moment. Deep south state where slavery, and that was slavery. Slavery's over and done with and gone and dead, but it was a slavery state. The voters will have a choice, but there's a lot of delusion and illusion and misinformation going on. I just find it interesting that in a state that is so traditionally, it is changing, traditionally racist, white supremacist, etc., that they have two African American representatives running for the position. I just find it quite, as an outsider, sorry if I step out of line there, I just find it quite interesting. Tell me about Warnock in the Georgia election. Warnock, the Reverend Raphael Warnock, is it? Yep, Reverend Warnock in the Georgia election. Okay, let's have a look. Got an itchy nose. Does that mean I'm going to win lotto tonight? Let's see. Okay, it is going to be a difficult journey for him. It's just all this misinformation that he's having to counter, these messages that he has to get out. It's not easy for the Democrats to get their messaging out, for those that go, they need to get their messaging out. It's not easy because it is such a progressive, convoluted, forward-thinking message that they're trying to get across that goes too far for their moderate voters but doesn't go far enough for their progressive voters, Whereas with the Republicans, the only message they need to get out is fear and hate. So positivity and plans and future progression and the messaging that the Dems are trying to get out is a lot more difficult. So he is struggling to get the message across. He is being challenged by this insidious devil energy. Okay. However, the world is watching, but also it is an end of a cycle. This is not Warnock's cycle, it's the end of a cycle for Georgia. So I'm positive about this. It is the closing of it is the unity of diversity. It is the starting of a new chapter. It is all positive. In the past, well, there's Trumpy Dumpy, or Dumpy Trumpy, however you like to call them. Duck L'Orange with the silent D. Okay. King of Wands, the lawmakers. But I think this is positive in this. This is the position in government. So I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to get through. Page of Coins, he's immediate future. This is about dreaming big and working hard. He's got a lot of work to do. And while I'm talking about a lot of work, also got a Beto apparently was ill recently with an infection. He's coming back again. But this Beto is going door to door. This is the sort of work that Warnock's doing. He's doing town halls. He's talking to people. He's really getting down to the nuts and bolts level. Whereas Herschel Walker refuses to debate and refuses to actually answer questions. He just spouts his preordained misinformation. Okay, externally, the Knight of Coins. Slow, steady, loyal, hard-working progress forwards. I know it's often my mercenary card, but it is traditionally the steady, loyal knight moving forward. Okay, now that I've put this internal, this is a double meaning card today. Externally, he's having to deal. So internally, he's the slow, steady, forward-moving, progressive, practical knight. But externally, he's having to deal with this mercenary action, and internally he's having to deal with this cut and thrust mercenary sabotage action. Okay, hopes and fears. Justice upside down. Wow, okay, considering I don't read upside down, I actually have a couple of interesting cards upside down there. Justice, actions and consequences, but also justice. His fear is that this won't be an honest election. There is something that's an offer being brought forward, information coming out, judgment, which, okay, thank you. So his fear is that there is going to be, there's going to be deception and fraud and you name it in this election. There is an offer going to be brought forward in regards to some messages that are made. There is going to be judgment about lies and deceit, anxiety, information coming forward that we're not aware of, that will be under investigation before we have the celebration. But it is going to be paused in the short term. There is going to be some loss and disappointment due to the manipulation of money. Not going to be happy with the outcome. Okay, this is not clear at all yet. This is going to go to, hinges on this card and this card and this card. I don't think it's going to be a clear-cut election, and I think it's going to end up in the courts again. The reason being is the base of the pack, the moon, upside down. Again, I don't usually read upside down. If you go through my cards, you'll see they're all generally up the right way. So for them to end up upside down is really unusual. There is information, seedy, betrayal, just gutter information that is not going to come out about moral corruption, but also being out in the cold, discarded. Just going through, seeing what else is upside down to turn them up the right way, because I don't usually, as I said, upside down, not usually. The next card in that is strength. Just have strength, have faith, have inner strength. Things are going to move on. There will be some restriction, but there will be some restriction. The truth will be restricting to some. So I think if you remember the last election where he did get in, it ended up in sort of recounts and court cases and all sorts of, they weren't confirmed for quite a number of months afterwards. I think that's what we're going to see again. It's just going to be a misinformation fueled bun fight, for want of a better way to put it. Okay, very quickly, Trump's mental health. I'll have a look at the Russian terrorists either tomorrow or Saturday, see how we go. Just tell me very quickly. Trump's mental health. Very quickly, Trump's mental health. 60 posts he put on Truth Social after the photographs were released showing the top secret documents. It was just a spew of absolute nonsense. Still claiming he won the 2020 election, claiming that they have to go back and vote again, claiming that everything was a setup, that he'd been, heartbreak, disappointment, loss in the face of investigation. And to me, this figure, I won't read any further because we're at 42 minutes already, but this figure at the moment is telling me everything you need to know about Trump's mental health at the moment. Okay, thank you for joining me. Have a brilliant day. Love to you all, and I shall catch you later. Bye-bye.